B 侧快要开了，还没有上车的旅客，请在6到13车的位置上车。
Hello friends, family, total strangers. Today's video is going to be on how much it cost me for being in Taipei for a week. So the cost of Taipei for 1 week, and just my general opinions and feelings about Taipei. My hostels were generally about, I think both of them were right around $11 a night. So I stayed in 2 different hostels in different parts of town. My food, you know, I almost exclusively, I did exclusively eat out. I never made food for myself. I ate out for every single meal. And I would say I probably spent somewhere around 300 Taiwan dollars, which is about $10 a day in food. You know, some days it was more like 20, but usually more like 10. Usually around $10 a day in food. You can get out and around really easily. My average ride on the MRT was 66 cents to $1 per ride. But I didn't ride that much. I mostly walked the city. It's very walkable. And then I did do a couple of things you have to spend money on. I did go to a museum, the National Palace Museum, which I'll talk about later. All said and done, I spent about $225 for the week. Which is pretty affordable. You know, that doesn't include my airfare. I'll talk about that in a future video. And that was definitely traveling and eating out every meal and all that stuff. So yeah, it was very affordable, very affordable. I would say if you're going to stay at hotels instead of hostel, your cost is going to go way up because, you know, your average hostel is going to run between $8 and $20. But hotels are actually kind of expensive in Taiwan in general. You're probably minimum $30, but more likely $50, $60 for hotels. For me, hostels work out great because it's also a way to meet other travelers and whatnot. So let's get into my other thoughts on Taipei. Let's start with food. Food is awesome, so much diversity. You know, obviously, I was almost exclusively eating Taiwanese food, but there's lots of Western food as well if you don't want to eat, you know, dumplings and noodles every meal. There's plenty of other, you know, there's burgers, pizza, all your normal Western restaurants, and also, you know, all the fast food chains from KFC to Subway to McDonald's, but I didn't do any of those. Food was amazing, super diverse. Like I said, noodles and dumplings, but there's so much more than that. It's really a huge diversity of food. I will say night markets are a lot easier to eat at because they usually just have 1 or 2 options. You can see what that is, and it's pretty easy to communicate at a night market, as opposed to at a restaurant where, you know, I don't even know exactly how it's supposed to work. Am I supposed to sit down and order, or am I supposed to order at the counter and then sit down? It seems like some places is one, some places is the other. And so it's easy to get confused and intimidated out of even going to restaurants. However, it's definitely worth the effort because night markets are great, but you know, you're going to end up with a lot of snack type food and a lot of fried food, and in restaurants you're going to get more full meals, and it's definitely worth trying to work through that language barrier to get it. I will say a lot of restaurants have English language menus, but that doesn't always help that much. But if they don't have an English language menu, what I'm beginning to pick up is that you can just take a photo of the food item and then go from there. So before I go on, I'm just going to show you some of my footage from when I went to the National Palace Museum, which is a pretty incredible museum. It has 5,000 years of Chinese history in it, and yeah, really amazing. So let me shoot you to that footage. So I am at the National Palace Museum. So from everything I've heard, this is like an absolute must stop here in Taipei. This is the 6th most visited museum in the world. So this has all of the artifacts from the Forbidden City from Beijing, or a lot of them anyway. And I guess, yeah, lots of artwork, lots of stuff to check out. So yeah, I'm excited. I was originally going to go to Yangmingshan National Park today, but it's raining. So I just decided to change it up and come here. I unfortunately am not going to be able to film inside, so no filming. They don't allow any pictures or video. So yeah, I'll tell you how it was. So I was totally wrong. You can film inside there. You just can't use the selfie stick or a tripod, and no flash photography, but you can film. There are certain exhibits you can't film, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll take you in there. So I'm not a huge museum guy, but that was pretty amazing. There's 5,000 years of Chinese history and culture in there. Everything from, you know, jade carvings and jade weapons to bronze weapons and bronze carvings and bronze or statues and bronze bowls, and yeah, it's really hard to describe what all's in there. There's so much. Everything from Chinese calligraphy and paintings, you know, that are 1,000 years old, 2,000 years old. There's a lot in there. There's a lot in there. It's pretty impressive. Definitely worth a visit. It was 350 Taiwan dollars, which is about $12, a little under $12, and yeah, worth it. The bus ride is about an hour, or about a $1 US each way to get out here, but yeah, totally worth coming. Pretty awesome. So I would say the National Palace Museum is a don't miss. Like, it's not that photogenic for what I could video, but it was absolutely amazing, and especially like all the old scrolls and stuff that are, you know, 1,000 years old, and and all the old books, which I couldn't really get good footage of because of the lighting, and just a huge diversity of stuff. I mean, it's everything from art to sculptures to pottery to it's pretty much all of Chinese culture for the last 5,000 years. It's crazy. It's definitely worth going to. But getting back to the subject here, the other things I really loved about Taipei are the people. People are so friendly, you know, outside of the restaurant hawkers who are just so busy they're often not that not that friendly. But the people in general, like a lot of the restaurants have communal seating and you get sat down next to somebody, and more than once, like, that person would actually help me through the ordering process. It was just so generous. And just, yeah, really friendly, great people. I also love how clean Taipei is. It's a very clean city. They definitely pick up garbage. They have a good recycling system, which is rare in Asia. So they really care about how their city looks and how everything looks, and that's great. So great transportation, great food, really friendly people. Taipei it's definitely in my top 3 cities I've ever been to. I really like Taipei. It's, I think the other thing that I should mention about Taipei that really I love and is important to me is the green spaces. There is so much green space in Taipei. There are so many city parks, big city parks. There's, you know, a mountain hiking trail that you can get to right from the subway system. There's a national park which you can easily be reached within an hour from a bus. And on top of that, it's got all these great, huge city parks and these great, amazing public spaces, green spaces, and yeah, it's just a great city. So when I left Taipei, it was on, come to find out, a national holiday. And there was a giant parade right outside my hostel as I was leaving. It was staging. It hadn't really started yet, but I did film some of that. So let me show you the parade there. Here with the selfie stick. So I am now in Hualien, which is kind of along the coast, the east coast. And this is the gateway city to Taroko National Park. And so there's also a night market here, the Dongdaemun Night Market. So I'm going to give you, wow, a military fighter jet just flew by kind of low. That's funny. Anyway, I'm going to do a little trailer for the next video. So my next video is going to be on Taroko Gorge and the Dongdaemun Night Market. And so, yeah, let me shoot you that trailer. Bamboo rice. This version is with brown sugar and longan, which is kind of related to the lychee. So that was just a little taste. There's another jet plane flying by now. That is just a little taste of what you're going to see in the next video. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Thanks a bunch.